Hello, toy friends. Welcome back. I'm Will. That's Largo, and this is the 1-8 team. How's it going, everyone? How's it going, Jim?
Swell. Just waiting for the swelling to go down.
Nice, nice. All right. I guess let's say hi. We got a ton of people in chat I want to say hi to. So let's scroll it all the way back up to the OG himself, Mr. Bjorn Jorgensen with the Schmodulok. And how nice of Jim Largo to stop by. That's great.
Nice fellow.
Hello, hello, hello. How you doing, Mython? How's it going, buddy? Scotty, happy birthday to me and a happy birthday to you too, Scotty. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, yesterday was my birthday, and my gift was no rest. Yeah, I had to work from 6 a.m. immediately after I got home, then do stuff, celebrating with family, but that went pretty late. So by the time I got home around 11 o'clock last night, I just crashed. I mean, I was out cold. And but good food, good fun, good friends, and a really cool T-shirt. Yeah, my granddaughter
Nice.
got me. Yeah, that was nice.
Just
So
because Scotty said so, I'm going to give you my best lounge singer 3 seconds worth of happy birthday so we don't get copyright strict. Happy birthday to you.
I have video of it too. They embarrassed me at the restaurant. And actually the waitress was just really great. And
Nice.
because she was like, "Yeah, we don't do that." Because he said, "Can you have the whole staff come out and sing to this guy?" So she came out and got like all the patrons around us
Oh,
were singing
no.
and everything. Yeah, it was pretty funny, and of course I was embarrassed by it, but that was the idea, and it worked great. So, Bill, Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures, hi, how you doing? That's great, and we've got Ted. Ted, what's
Nice.
cooking? And Ian Sweeney's here. Evening. And we've got the Toy Hermit. How's it going? Hello, sir. Joe Ricondo, catching one live. Awesome, man. Joe is the best. He is so great. I can't wait to see you at Joe Fest, buddy. It's going to be awesome. And Beta Ray Bob, how's it going, Bob? Oh yeah, oh yeah, and Mython, thank you for this. It's almost time. Smash that like button, people. Please smash that like button.
Indeed.
And so, who else do we got here? Jeff Morris is here. How's it going? Roll Keeper in the house. What's up?
Nice.
Hello, hello. We've got Frontline. What's up, brother? Frontline's great. World Made of Cardboard. Ducati 1987. What's up, Mike? How's it going? Hope you're going to Joe Fest. You better be. Gojitron, let's build a robot. Yes, that's awesome.
Do you want to make a snowman? I mean, a robot?
Yeah, Red, what's happening, brother? How you doing? Doing awesome stuff over on Instagram. You guys got to go check them out. Who else? Anyone else new? Boba Hicks. All the 118 programming talents, names, logos, trademarks, and NFTs are property of 118 Inc. That's right.
Especially the NFTs.
Yeah. Thanks again, Bill. Appreciate you. So yeah, we've got a little fun show today, a little special presentation. Today we're going to explore the world of robotics. You may remember these from when you were a kid. I like Salt dropping in every now and then. Well, awesome. And Thane, how's it going, man? He's been doing terrific stuff over on Instagram as well. He's got a whole little saga on every day. He's revealing a new episode of, and I've been really enjoying that throughout the week. And I said, "What's cooking?" Ted is cooking. He's got the smoker going. He's actually making a big eye round and going to make some shredded beef for sandwiches for work.
That sounds good.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. He's always cooking something good. All right. I am clicking stuff and the chat is jumping. So, all right. Oh, some love for things. So Star Wars custom figures. Yes, they are insane. Totally awesome. And I love that he used a Spin Master Killer Croc in his little photo thing too. He added him to his world. I loved seeing that. So yeah, robotics. You may have had them when you were a kid. You may have seen them. You may not know anything about them, but we're gonna cover everything, every single detail with 100% accuracy, guaranteed today. No, that's actually not true. I don't know much about these other than a buddy of mine had one of the sets. I played with it a couple times when I was a kid. I thought it was interesting. Tried to make some stuff, and that was it. And then I saw them on shelves every once in a while. I knew of them, never got deep into it, but with the recently I've been looking at 118 scale kind of does it 118 stuff, and robotics showed up as something that I thought might from memory, 118. So I did a little research, looked at some of the sets, found this great set, and we're going to be opening that up in a little bit, and you'll be experiencing it for the first time. I bought this off eBay. They said it was complete. I'm trusting that. It may not be, but we're going to build it together and have a little fun.
Will, I owe you $1 because Scotty didn't make it through the first 10 minutes without mentioning Micronauts.
Micronauts. Yes. Everything it's 6 degrees to Micronauts are.
It is. There are some similarities here.
Yeah, definitely. So let's build Robotix. So before we do that, I just want to say thank you to our channel and Patreon members. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys. So quick shout out to those guys. They're the best. We've got here Robotix is a line of toy motorized construction sets for building robotic creatures and vehicles, originally marketed by Milton Bradley in the 80s. The toys were later sold by RC2 Corporation and Learning Curve with color changes and new parts. Currently, although I got to correct this, Robotics and Things in California sells robotics toys and offers STEM programs for kids. That company went out of business in like 2022, so it's a little outdated. I found that out after I had done this, but it's very interesting. Hey, the tech lover. Hi, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. And it's interesting to me because I thought this was an 80s brand that kind of just fell off and died after, the 80s, and to see that it was being sold, and it turns out it was being sold probably not in every toy store. It was like the Discovery store in the mall, or Sharper Image, or there were some of those Imaginarium or something like that. There was like more educational toy stores, and they were being rebranded and sold in those as things. They also came with a line of 3 3/4 inch action figures. These are like 4 POA action figures. I'll grab one over here just so you guys could see maybe. These are just some of the styles I saw available on eBay, and may not represent everything that was available for the line. Let me go ahead and pop this out and then do a biggie.
That one. There you go.
Biggie. So yeah,
so the
you can
head
see,
didn't turn, but it was just the shoulders and hips.
yeah, you've
Okay.
got shoulder, leg articulation, and you got a little visor that pops up, and you can see the guy's unpainted face in there. And
Oh, that's
then
cool.
also on his back is a port to work with the shape of the connectors that work with the set. So we'll see how that interacts later. But this one came with the set I just bought. And
Cool.
everything I knew about them was really just from memory. Oh,
That button. There we go.
yeah, that one. That's the one. All right. So yeah. Here we go. We could see these are not in order. I couldn't really find, there may be a fan page devoted to these, but I didn't find one on my initial search, and what time constraints as they were. So this was a representative of like a basic set you would buy. This one actually has a name. He was called Argus, and yeah, Largo's big. Hold on, we got Beta Ray Bob. You're right. Everything is 6 degrees to Micronauts because Micronauts and Microman are so awesome. Yes.
That's
And
fair.
Largo is big, and then we get that's what she said. So
No, sadly she didn't.
yes. And here there was a robotics cartoon, and we will talk about that. I have slides and some information on the cartoon series a little bit later in the show, and we'll get to that. So thank you for that. But yeah, so Robotix, this was Argus. It says build Argus or anything else you can imagine. And you had this one. He looks like, I don't know, just a T-Rex robot monstrosity that is roaming the universe. I don't know. I did zoom in on some of these other alt modes that you could see, and some of these pictures aren't fantastic, but you can see there's you could build a space crane. You could build a lunar beast. This one was called Argus, the Lunar Beast, and you have a space rescue vehicle that you could also
Interesting.
configure. And these were just, you were supposedly you could build anything you could imagine. I would say
So it
that
kind of
claim,
seems like they were trying to get in on the bandwagon. Micronauts did make vehicles that were convertible. They had
modular.
all the
Yeah.
pieces modular. You had pieces parts.
Mhm.
Fisher Price had started doing some sets where you could build them like a model kit. So Milton Bradley
Yeah.
was known for board games. They weren't known for vehicles or toys. So it's like their designers tried, but it was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And you had Lego also did what was it, Technic or something like that, where they had motors, and so these
Right.
also included like you can see all these wires running out of it. So there's little servo motors that just either spun or moved in one direction. There's even a little claw mechanism that you clip onto the servo, and it would close or open, depending on the thing. And it came with like a controller box. And for you kids at home, back in the day, cable, you didn't have a wireless remote. You had a wired box with like 50 channels on it, and that's how you selected your channels. And that wire would stretch all the way across your living room. And yeah, that's how you change channels. This was kind of the same thing. It was a box with a bunch of wires out of it. You connected it to the motors, and then you could activate those features as you went along. So this is just to give you an idea of some of these. And these were more the original ones. We had Bront. He was um, they put names on these, but then they also had Series R 1500. So I don't know if the giving them names and characteristics and putting them in a cartoon show was a afterthought, or because we'll see later on they dropped the names. But here you
Right.
could see some. This is the Bront space sled, the Bront triped. What is it? The Bront triped rover. So this is and you could actually steer it. You can see the little motor box on the top there, and then the Bront rotary driven transport. And I guess you could run the wheels right off the motors there as well. We have Tyrannix, which is the model I bought. So this is the set that I bought, and I bought this one just because I got to tell you, all the other ones, that space gray looks all right and everything, but man, I saw this black one with those stickers on it. He looked sharp. I was like, I'm getting this guy. And you could make this. They call this the Tyrannix copter. Okay, it's more like a Tyrannix, I don't know, a shuttle or something. But this thing looks cool too. The Solar Surveyor and the Interceptor, the Tyrannix Interceptor. So I don't know which one we're going to build. I'm going to try and build like just the main. I don't know what's the one on the cover. That one. I'm trying to just build that. I'm not going to get fancy today. But yeah, that's the Tyrannix Interceptor. See, this one didn't have a name. This is the R1000. This is like the first one, I guess, that came out, right? Because all the other ones had a higher number. And you can kind of see that little control box in the picture there. But this one didn't come with a name. And that's it. Just, oh, nice. Always bet on black. That's right. Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yep. And you could build different things, a galactic cruiser, or whatever you could imagine. I guess that's called whatever you could imagine. We have Venturac, which is an R1000 series. So this is also an R1000 series. I don't know how this numbering works. You got me. We got a
So according to
Moonwalker.
World Made a Cardboard, the R1000s might have come before the cartoon. After the cartoon, they had the named vehicles.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, you got a galactic
So
cruiser.
it's kind of like a gimmick they were trying to make go, and it just didn't pick on.
This is
didn't find its audience.
the space runabout, and I'm sorry for that picture quality. Some of the pictures had better quality than others. And then you have some of these right here, like this one is just a solar tracker.
Hmm.
I think any one of these model kits would have been fun to assemble and build. It was one of the things that I liked most about, like GI Joe vehicles or Star Wars vehicles was like assembling them, building them, getting them all set up. Um, oh,
So
okay, yeah,
didn't
it
seem to
wasn't
be
really,
much rhyme or reason. Okay.
yeah, but yeah, very interesting. This one is a Surface Scout. It's just kind of some kind of rotating legs walker thing. Interesting.
So everything ties together with that hex design of like a
Yeah,
ball and socket kind of thing. Okay.
yeah, basically, yeah, it's just like male female adapters, and you plug the parts in. And on various parts, there's ports in some areas and not in some. And you can see, I love like a lot of these designs are like asymmetrical. They're just kind of weird, and and I like that portion of it. But I have some things where I feel like they could have done things better. But that's just me.
Right.
Uh,
Wheels and walking bits. That's kind of an odd choice, but yeah.
Sure. And this one doesn't have like a theme or a name, and there's really no other alt modes. It was just like this. Um, the volcanic crawler. Now this one probably would have been fun to build, making something with like spider legs and it walks. Oh, this one's modeled after NASA's Dante, which was
Ooh,
a
a
stellar,
rover.
yeah, rover.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very cool. And then we had this one, which was a Solar Scout, and we see that this one doesn't have like the cockpit, but rather like this little like bucket seat that you pop the guy into as a command module. It has like forks on the front, so that's kind of cool. This one you could notice up in the upper left-hand corner was produced by Learning Curve Toys, who picked up the license after Milton Bradley. And I think Milton Bradley was sold to Hasbro, who then I guess just sold this off. They weren't interested in keeping it, and then it kind of bounced around for a couple more times. I like this one, the Desert Rover. I'll tell you why I like this one. It's just a complete set. You could build it. You could, it does what it says. It's right on there, and it does the one thing very well. And that's what I would say is a critique of some of the sets, where even the alt modes looked like kind of like just I don't know, whatever's. They didn't look. It says you could build anything you could imagine, but um, you really can't. You're kind of limited to the way the pieces go together. But we'll see that later on when we put this
Yep.
together. But what I do like is they kept all the future sets fully compatible with the past robotic sets. So if you had one, you could really expand and move on to them. So this one came with one motor. It's you can make different things out of it, but Desert Rover, it's cool. This
Yep.
one, they dropped all that other stuff. They just went with Robo Rex. This is a big
Well,
set. You're making a Robo Rex, 5 motors and 250 parts, but works with all previous robotic sets. So that's cool. And then they even did a life-size robot commander. I did not know about this. I saw it on eBay. This thing's expensive. It really is. And but yeah, apparently you can make this life-size thing. Unfortunately, the other photos aren't great, but yeah, with the motors, you could turn his head, grip with his hands, move his arms, open and close his mouth, and move his face shield up and down.
so it definitely shows you the potential if you have a bunch of different sets and you've got enough parts, you could build something really
Sure.
massive. Okay.
Yeah. So let's see what we got here in the chat. Anyone?
Oh, Payne's here. Hey, Payne.
Oh, nice. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, these octagon. I guess Scott's telling us that they're
Oh,
octagon
octagon,
connected.
not hexagon.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
okay. So many
Red
different
Canada.
releases.
We'll get to the cartoon in a minute. We got some slides
Yeah.
on that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they did. Yeah, that's awesome. And Hasbro eventually got the thing back. Okay, because it
yeah.
must have been recently because I saw that company, which was based out of California, went out
You
of
got to love
business.
that their bucket seats were pretty much just literally a bucket.
Yeah, these are interesting to look at. Yeah, and the expensive. Oh, what is this? The expensive sets and Legos. Why I got into building with cardboard and cardstock. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they really do.
they were
Uh,
spendy.
The cockpit style is the best. Yeah, I think so. Double cockpit was too opaque, and the human cannonball cockpit was unsafe. Okay. Johnny Five is alive. That does look kind of like a short circuit. Yeah. Uh, the robot commander looks awesome. Yeah. I mean, listen, as a kid, I would have loved any of this stuff. Hey Ed, how are you? How's it going, buddy? So yeah, moving on. I think we got. Did we do this one? Yeah, we did this one. So move. Oh, what was the last thing we looked at? This, right?
Mm-hmm. So they only had like a few pieces, and they just put them together in different sets. A couple of different command
Yeah,
modules. Like
I
I
think I.
think I saw like 3 or 4 different styles. If you count the
Hmm.
bucket.
Yeah, there's one of them like back here where like you could see on the like in this build right here, like where's this slide? Like they have the cockpit turned like vertical.
Okay.
On the right hand side there, the top one.
Right. So they're
Um,
standing
that
up
one,
in it
yeah,
instead of
you could
sitting
see,
down.
yeah, the
Okay.
Moonwalker. You could see it's like they're kind of standing up in the cockpit, and like the thing would open that way. I actually have one here I could show on. So this was just a small set that I picked up. This what started it. I just like these were like kind of random bits in a box, and it had like the little controller and one motor to it. And I went, oh my God, I remember these, and I kind of got back into it. You could see there's an O-ring figure, fits very well inside there, no problem. And,
Yeah.
and this is just a vehicle I made with the boxes and the parts. It was like, what made the most sense? What can I make out of this? And I just slapped, parts together until I could get it to work. But, the wheels, these wheels seem to roll pretty well. Oh, something just fell off. These wheels seem to be a little stuck, but they're rubber and they held up. These are from the 80s, so they've held up pretty well. Um,
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, you can see. Oh, I don't know how this is attached here. I'm not going to start pulling on it. But one thing I wanted to show was just that, for any of you guys out there that do any world building or customizing or kit bashing, if you look closely at the pieces, they did sculpt a lot of really nice detail in there. So if you were to give that like a black wash or something like that to really bring out that texture, there's a lot of detail in there that would really make for nice looking pieces if you were building a kit bashing a ship of your own or building something, even just world building stuff. Like even that piece itself, it was just in the background of a diorama, would look pretty cool. So if
Yeah.
you could pick
Got
these up,
potential.
they're relatively inexpensive, and you could find these around. You could actually use them for your kit bashing. The plastic is of a really good quality, and like I said, it holds up after all these years. So
Would you say it's kind of similar to like some of the Fisher Price plastic as far as the durability?
yeah, I would say that's actually a pretty good uh, comparison. Yeah. Excuse me.
Oh, matter of fact, Ed had some of the Fisher Price constructs, which is kind of the same premise, but probably better.
Let's
Okay.
see. I lost that piece. Let me pull this up. Yeah, and I think Desert Walker is Moonwalker with longer back legs. Yeah, they reused a lot of things there. Someone did custom painted wires on the connectors, red and green.
Nice.
Okay, cool. And yeah, definitely great greebly material. Yeah, and there's just like a bit right there. Even if you, like I said, you could make this work in pretty much any sci-fi or fantasy setting. It would work out great.
Well, the
Um,
neat thing I think about this, Will, is it's inexpensive because it wasn't super popular. You can
yeah,
find bits and pieces where people may just have stuff in a lot that they don't know what it is. So you can pick up the Greeblies pretty cheap. Hey,
laxive
good
rat.
to see you,
What's
lad.
happening?
So, yeah,
Uh,
it's definitely got some potential for 118 world building.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of where I'm coming from with this is like you pick up a box of these bits and you can really go a long way with
So I'm guessing the redhead here was the one kid in the neighborhood whose parents had big bucks
it.
and
Yeah, I
bought him
guess.
like 10 different sets so he could build this thing.
Yeah, even though it's pixelated, that other kid looks like, what the hell is that? But you could see, later
Oh, yeah, there's
packaging.
the controller. It's
Yeah, you
but
could
they're
see,
not
and that.
showing the wires connected. So
No,
did
they're
they
not. No, they're not. Maybe does this 8-channel remote control? I don't know. This was a later set by Learning Curve, so I don't know if they ever made them like radio control. I think now, where
maybe?
they could have done, or they could relaunch this kind of toy with the ability to just connect it via an app. I mean, wireless connectivity is so prevalent now with Bluetooth and other manners to connect your smartphone and stuff like that. They could really make some more advanced motors or mechanisms in there, and they might not, um,
Right. Okay. I vaguely remember VR Troopers put some vehicles and stuff out. So maybe, yeah, the cockpit may have some similarities in shape.
oh,
I'd have to
sure.
look at those.
So this is, you could see this is a repackage of Bront, I believe was the one we saw him earlier, where he was kind of this like quadruped walker thing. And
Hmm.
back in the early 2000s, I grabbed tons for dirt cheap. I don't know, but I think it was just not popular then. Yeah, yeah, I think so.
I think you can still get some bargains with them even now.
hmm So that's it for the toys, and just some of the a sampling of them. There may be more out there, but I think just that surface value. If you're just looking for parts to kit bash and everything, these cockpits could come in handy. You could use them for a ship. It's that opening canopy is usually a hard thing to fabricate
Wow.
yourself.
You got World Made of Cardboard searching the interwebs. He says he found one that's supposedly, I guess that must be a complete set.
Yeah,
500
that's the
bucks.
set I
That's
got there.
crazy.
No, I did not pay nearly that. So what I did was when I picked up this set, which was just the random bits, I started looking and I set a bunch of alerts on eBay to just let me know when something good came up. And unfortunately, the same seller that had that Tyrannix that I bought, and it was like $40. I'll just tell you, it was like 40 plus like $10 shipping. So it cost me about
That
50
sounds about
bucks for
right.
this set.
Yeah.
But he did put in the title that it was complete and worked. So since I'm coming into this kind of new, I was like, that's a good starting off point. One, I picked it because of the cool black color and the stickers look neat. Two, I picked it because it was complete. He had two other sets that were not complete, and they were listed as such for very cheap price. The shipping on these is where I think they get you, because I saw some with like a low buy price, but like $30 shipping. So it all
Yeah.
comes out to
It's a
about the same. Yeah.
cheeky when they do that.
But I just thought for the sake of this, I'd like to start with something that was like new and complete. So we could go over to, you want to talk about the cartoons first, or do you want to maybe pop over to the toy cam and take a look at the Tyrannix? Let's
Let's
yeah, let's just, you want to just run through the slides? We'll get all this out of the way so we could see
yeah.
the cartoons. So you could see they had let me just, oh no, I'm sorry. I failed to there is actually a couple other sets. So you can see later on when they transition to like the learning stores. This one was called Metacon. It's just like a space probe,
It looks like they actually made some new parts, or at least they
Yeah.
colored some of the parts different, which is neat.
And
They
then this
tried.
one,
These
yeah,
look more
this
like
one
vehicles. Yeah.
is called an Aquabot, and it was just like a put together vehicle. But you can see that's the same cockpit, just with a blue color.
Hmm.
And then they did another T-Rex here, so you can see that he's got kind of those like toy soldier walking legs that
Yep.
you used to see. And then this one was branded for the Discovery Channel, and it's
That
an
one looks
actual
cool.
spaceship. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. You see, it has like that four-wing design, or like kind of in
It
the
looks like a
background.
lot of new parts, or at least parts
hmm
used differently. I like
And
that.
they, it comes with a figure that's just like a silver and yellow recolored version. But hey, I think these sets were pretty great. with more purpose built, the wings and everything, where it was a little less random, could
Be curious about the price point on these, but
yeah, this
that had to be
was
pretty recent.
yeah, I think early 2000s. But
Okay.
yeah, that's so then we get into the cartoon. So yeah, let's talk about this because I know that box has been sitting in the background for a couple months now, and several times people have reminded me that they made a cartoon for this. I finally sat down and watched it, and really it was like one season. So I would say it holds up just as well as some of the other stuff from that era. Um, Yeah,
Ah, yeah.
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 It was a
Sunbow.
Sunbow. It was a
Hmm.
Sunbow cartoon. It's very much the same. So if you go back and you watch any of those old cartoons, the things you loved about them are present. The things that were a little wonky are still present, and it wasn't. I don't know. I wonder. I like this because yeah, that's
Yeah.
the
They
kid
were
that had
splendid.
it was the rich kid. Yeah, and I'd go over his house and he had it. Yeah, that's the one, the guy I played with. I
But as
played
far
with
as a
him as a
cartoon,
kid.
it was kind of like the also ran. It's like, yeah, they understood GI Joe and Transformers and those kind of cartoons, and they got this and said, well, let's kind of make it sort of like that, but not
Yeah.
really. But we'll use the same voice actors, and yeah,
So yeah, you'll see that. So yeah, Robotics was 1985. They put out the cartoon. It follows the conflict between the Protectons and the Terracores on an alien world involving two human groups. They're not humans. I don't know. I must have got that wrong. They're humanoid groups. The show was produced by Sunbow Productions and Marvel Productions with animation done by Toei in Japan. In 1987, the 15 6-minute shorts were combined into Robotix the Movie, a 90-minute feature film, and re released on DVD in the UK and Ireland in July 2003. And if you look at the cast, you'll see a lot of really familiar names that, just Peter Cullen and Frank Welker,
yep,
Optimus Prime and Megatron right there. But you've got Arthur Burgard down here. He did Destro. That's who I know him from. And then some of the other names there too. I'm not super familiar with, but listening to the show, I heard Shipwreck. Some of the other GI Joe characters. As a matter of fact, I could be wrong. Some of the um, kind of atmosphere music that played between bits in the show sounded like Transformers and GI Joe tracks pulled over. So
same
uh,
sound effects and bits.
yeah,
Yeah,
same sound effects and stuff. So they uh, they had those. Marvel Comics
nice.
also released a single issue of the comic book by Herb Trimpe in 1986, following the storyline of the first three series episodes, with a commercial aired on Saturday mornings. I don't remember that commercial, but the difference between the toy, the actual kit you could buy, and the characters in the show, they're similar, but you'll see. I do a little bit of a comparisons, and
Ah, Michael Ball was the voice of Duke. I did not know that.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. And yeah, sounds like them. They all, like I said, I'm listening to them. I'm like, what the hell there is one character. I wish I pulled a clip, but he's like a middle aged man. And Rolando, how are you? And he has like the voice of like a 12-year-old girl. And I don't know if they just messed that up in the animation or just a really high pitched, maybe like, a 10-year-old boy. But you see him in the cockpit and he's like, all right, guys, I'm going into hyperdrive. It's hilarious. It just
Maybe his
cracks me up
spacesuit was a
listening to
little too tight. I don't
that.
know.
Could be. But here we see the cartoon version of Argus versus the picture on the box. And you could see that they just made him a little more symmetrical. They gave him two arms with one claw, and the hook was on the toy, but it wasn't like a movable arm. So, yeah, you know,
So the
that one's a
animators
close one.
maybe they just kind of sort of made it look close, but not
Yeah,
exact with what the
I
toy
could see
was.
where if
Okay.
you were a kid and you were expecting Argus, the toy, to be like Argus in the cartoon, it wouldn't be the same, and you might have been disappointed. And we'll just skip that slide because I I couldn't I couldn't find all of these characters in the toys. Like I couldn't find every character. Later on, they have this guy, and to me, it looked like more like this robotics robot dog. But this came out way after the cartoon, so I don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
The animators took some liberties, some creative license.
well, they did, and I
I'm
would imagine they had to make it.
from what you've described, it almost sounds like they had an idea to make this line, connect with personalities and certain robots, and it just didn't go anywhere. So then they dropped it.
Yeah, it feels like it was like a half measure on both sides. Like the toy wasn't successfully toy toyetic enough, and the
Right.
cartoon itself didn't like tie in directly to it.
Goji makes a
Um,
fair point that when you look at the Transformers cartoons, there's a lot of stuff there. It's like your G1 would not do what they could do in the
oh
cartoon.
no, no, not at all. Yeah, yeah,
Close enough's
definitely.
good enough.
Yeah, we got Bront, which he functioned the same. Definitely they added two arms for him and some claws and a mouth, but yeah, they didn't all exist in toy form, and we'll see that. Um, and you can see
Bront.
Bront,
Yeah.
yeah, that he didn't, he did not, and
Kind of, sort of.
yeah. Tyrannix, you could look at this guy. He just looks like a giant menacing robot. We're gonna see him in a second, and yeah, a little different in the toy.
Maybe you could make that kind of, sort of, but I don't know. We'll see when you get
Maybe
the
it's some
box
kit
open.
bashing, yeah, or something. But you could
He does
kind of
have the
make
solar
this.
panels.
Yeah,
So,
he has the solar panels in the face, and you can kind of do that. Um, you can make that work. But Nemesis, the big bad, um, he did not have a toy, from what I understand. He has a cool design. He looks cool.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
if the cartoon had gone better, they probably were planning to make some of these other characters in the toy line. It just didn't happen.
yeah,
That makes sense.
and Stegor,
Stegor.
which was like
That
a
looks cool.
snake head with two like round. Yeah, if they had that thing motorized, he'd look pretty cool.
That kind of
Uh,
reminds me of Jason the Wheeled Warriors kind of vibe.
yeah,
They had the
yeah.
big wheels and the scorpion tail kind of thing.
hmm
Whoa, that one's weird.
Nara, which is it's a like a pod with a huge talking face there on the front, and four big long legs. That would have been a cool toy to have. You
Yeah.
know, here are the original forms of the that they existed in on their planet before they became robotics. So you had the Terracores, which were
Okay.
like these frog or lizard men, and then you had the Protectons, which were like these like cybernetic monkey men. I kinda that's what I'm coming off with. I don't know.
They're
So
primates. We have to be politically correct. You can't call
their
them
their
monkeys.
their world was being destroyed by some solar flare, so they said they got together. They said we got to go into these stasis pods and ride this
As you
out.
do. Which, of
Yes,
course, they conveniently had already built before the solar flare. That's nice.
yes, they have this all coming, and it's all run by CompuCore. CompuCore is the master brain of this operation, or this world's kind of has all of the world's resources on them. But due to a leak in their stasis chambers, CompuCore is forced to take the essence of the beings and put them into these robotics that they created to, rebuild the world. So he uses this crate or she or whatever CompuCore, whatever it is, uses this amazing tendril to suck the essence out of the monkey tube and put it into a robotics, which they had a whole garage full of just waiting there. And you could see some of the other models that they didn't make toys of. There's that wheeled guy, and I
So,
just
okay. So the premise was in order to save their lives, the CompuCore decided this was the best
yeah,
thing was to plug them into the
yeah.
robots. Okay.
And if you
Yeah.
read farther on it, and if you want to go do that, you can. You could see like some of them had like nervous breakdowns when they realized like their mind was stuck in this giant machine. And I'm not going to go into the humans here, but there are a bunch of humanoid characters. Bedazzle, what's happening? And you know, so that's it for the slide. There's a human group. They crash land on the planet. One of them gets the great idea because they realize that these giant robots that are trampling around and fighting on the planet have these cockpits. And one of the kids is like, "Hey, what if I jump in there?" And then when they jump in there, like this helmet comes over them and they interface with the robotics. And then the
Whoa,
robotics
that
are
sounds naughty.
basically after they interface, they're able to take on different forms and have a kind of a advantage in battle. And that's the whole thing is interfacing with a human driver helps them to gain additional abilities and modes. So it's worth a watch and it's free on YouTube. And there is a link to the cartoon in the description of this video. So if you want to go watch
Cool.
it, it's a 90-minute cartoon. You can go watch it. It'll give you all that information. Um,
Beta Ray Bob makes a good point. It's kind of shadows of transhumanism. We've seen that in some other
Sure.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
The idea
Yeah.
of transference.
It's very
Interesting.
cool. And like I said, just some, and you're going to hear some familiar voices if you like that. But yeah, it's a kid's show. Yes. Well, you know that. And like
Hey,
I said, it
I'm
holds
just
up.
saying there was interfacing going on, and we don't know if it was consensual.
Well, yeah, that first kid just jumps right in and interfaces, doesn't even ask. So,
Didn't
take
even use
that for what
protection.
yeah. So let's pop up the toy cam here. Hopefully it'll stay there. I'm gonna drop off here. I'm gonna scoot over and we're gonna crack this thing open and take a look.
Can you blow up the toy cam, or can I blow it up? How do I make that center stage? Is it that button? Solo. There it is. Ba-ba-bum. I see a figure.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yes.
I
Okay.
can hear
So
you now.
can hear me. Okay. Great. So yeah, let's take a look at the figure. We saw him, right? And then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put him to the side. I'll put the other wheel thing so we can see the nice Tyrannic set. We saw the box and everything already. So I'm just gonna pull the lid off. And guys, I am experiencing this for the first time, just like you. I did reach in there and grab the figure out
Feels like
early.
the first time.
So
Oh, you got instructions. That's good.
yeah, like I said, I got it because of that completeness, And
Goji says Will is about to interface with this thing. Should we put on some lounge music, some candles, maybe? I don't know.
so expand your system. Oh, here's an ad for some accessory packs that they sold. So you
Oh,
can get extra
okay.
motors, um, command station accessories, arms, and connectors. So they
Well, that's
had
a
a
cool
whole
idea. Yeah, so if you
yeah.
only had pocket money, you could buy the little Greeblies in a smaller, more budget-friendly set,
And
maybe.
it says this is available after what does that say? November 15th, 1984. And they have a little thing. The prices
Wait,
didn't seem too bad.
so you could
$9.49
mail
for
order it?
yeah, so you can mail order this to Milton Brad.
Nice.
Yeah. And pick up some accessories for that. So that's kind of cool. So I'll put that to the side. Here is your registration card. For your warranty, I guess.
That's funny. Some of the guys are more excited about the styrofoam than they are the toy because building material.
Yes. Here is a nice instruction manual with really nice artwork on the cover there. Let's take a look. Oh, and really
Ooh.
great photos. Look at that. That's Gaxon Graves with the Tyrannix Interceptor, which you can build in less than 10 minutes.
Oh, so the humans have names? They're
Yeah,
named characters?
they
Cool.
do. Yeah, they all have names. It says you could build it within 10 minutes. So I guess I'm going to have to. So should we
I'll
go with
time
the
you.
Interceptor or basic building code 2? We'll just flip
Are
through
they?
the whole
Do they have
thing
like
here.
difficulty levels, or are they all about the same? Does it give
Uh,
an age range?
Not
Do you meet
really
the
that I can see.
qualifications?
I don't think so.
Is it 8
Uh,
and up?
so the first one is it construction hints and control hints. Okay. So let's see what else here. We have the parts inventory.
So is it more like Lego instructions or IKEA instructions?
No, these are pretty detailed. You can see they got really nice, clear photographs with detailed instructions. I would say Lego does the thing where they just show you some pictures and you just kind of have to interpret it for yourself. So here we go. We've got some nice
Ooh,
photos.
stickers.
Yeah.
Does it come with the stickers?
They have more building ideas. So here's just some ideas, I guess, of the different vehicles you could build. The Night Attacker. And then these are much shorter instructions. The Solar
Okay, so they give
Surveyor,
like an
the
exploded
Patroller.
view.
Yeah.
So
And then this
World
one.
Made of Cardboard's asking, do they just give you hints or is it step by step?
So on this one is more like Lego, where it's just kind of a detail. It shows you the parts list here. And
Mhm.
do I need to lift that up so you can see it better? You see, on these, like the Space Scout,
Oh,
you just
okay.
get
So they
you
show
get a parts list and then an exploded
yeah,
diagram there.
a picture
But
of the finished product and then the exploded view and then tells you how many of each part.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that
and
makes
then
sense.
here's a little catalog on the back for all of the different stuff. So the I guess the one they give you the most detailed, and this is the Tyranix Interceptor. They give you step by step here, basic building, and this is just a kind of a primer for building and a basic building for the motors. Just to explain how they work, and then they show you all the different pieces and everything there. So
Okay.
then it just goes on to a thing. So I'm not going to read all that. I'm just going to start slapping parts together and see what happens.
All right.
Right? I mean, if a kid in 1984 could figure this out, then I'm screwed. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. So yeah, let's take a look here. And
Cool.
just take a look at some of these pieces. They look. Oh, and look at that. For completeness, I do have the accessories for the figure.
Oh, so he has a backpack and a laser
and
blaster thingy?
yeah, and
Cool. Nice.
even though it has like this flexible rubber hose thing.
Can you hold it up a little higher? You're off camera. There you are.
Oh, sure.
Nice.
So
That's actually a cool looking figure.
Yeah, really nice. And when it said complete, I know it said complete, but I didn't think it would have everything in there. That's great. So here's the little control module. It says this takes AA batteries, which I did read the box and I prepared ahead of time. So I'm going to put some batteries in there. And that looks good. No corrosion or anything.
Nice.
So I would
got to hold it up a little higher there, Will.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to assume that's
it had
work.
a battery.
Yeah,
Nice.
I got some dollar store batteries here. So no, I just put that in.
Beta Ray's digging it. Might have him searching for some of these. Mython seems to be enjoying it too.
Yeah, let's see how it works. I don't want to break it. Okay.
I'm sure there's some kid that had to go to the emergency room for getting that laser pistol stuck up his nose. Probably did happen.
So we're going to try the Intercept. It's not what I was originally going to build, but since they have this, yeah, okay, great. So it doesn't really give you, okay. Pieces am I looking at here? There's the cockpit. And someone must have
Ted
played
says
with
that
it.
is not a 1984 battery, so that is a newer piece.
No, that's
well,
from
they
Dollar
did put
Tree.
the stickers on.
Yeah,
Okay.
they put the stickers on and they did a pretty decent job. And compared to that other cockpit, can you see that?
Oh wow,
they're nice silvery stickers. They look pretty cool.
That is neat.
And I'll show you the other one just so you can see. Oh, this one had the sparkly silvery stickers. I think just against the black it pops. It
right.
looks nicer.
So can you show us how the guy fits in the cockpit both ways? So if he's like standing up or if he's sitting down, the different orientations.
I have to take his thing
backpack.
Yeah. Take that back.
Now, does he plug into the cockpit? Is there a connector inside, or does he just sit in there?
He just sits in there. So
okay.
Yeah. So that's him in there. I don't know if you could see through the thing, but
that one's got a smoked canopy. That's cool.
Yeah. So
I don't think the white one did it?
That's in the vertical position.
Okay.
So he sits in there like that, and then I guess the horizontal or traditional position. He sits in just so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it gives you some different options.
Yeah, it's nice. And You got these. I don't know where these bits are supposed to go to, but let me pull them out. Here's one of the front wheels. I'll pull those out.
You are an enabler, sir. Toy Hermit just picked one up on eBay.
Oh, which one did
Nice.
he get? Did he get Tyrannix or did he
I
get?
don't know.
I'm
We'll see.
curious to which one he picked because here's some gear sets. That's pretty cool.
You know, Ted, I think I remember seeing something like this at Radio Shack. I don't remember what that was called, but that does ring a bell. They did have
This-
something similar that had like, you know, trend or actuators.
Mhm.
I'll have to look into that.
It feels very Radio Shack ish. You know,
Yeah,
like
I do remember seeing these Milton Bradley sets at Sears, just like Scotty was saying. I remember they had those in the Wish book too.
I'm looking for some red connectors that go into the wheel well here.
I see the secondary market price of these going up at least for a little while as people watch this on the show. There is that effect. I don't think we have that much of a audience.
Yeah,
But who knows?
we don't
We'll see.
have that kind of audience, but yeah, I doubt we could change the market. But
Yeah, I think that was kind of the problem. World Made a Cardboard saying they didn't know where to put these things. Milton Bradley was board games. So if they stuck these with the board games, people wouldn't know to buy them there if they're looking
Yeah.
for constructible robots.
so one of the things I was going to say,
Hmm.
just my observation is like I feel like it seemed
Oh.
like the focus on this was always on the motorized educational portion of it.
Right. The gadget
And-
bit. Yeah, Toy
and-
Hermit just bought a parts lot, so he's got bits. He'll have to make some
cool.
custom and cool, and maybe we'll see it
Okay.
on IG. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. That'd be great. And I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like-
these would definitely work for building a space station.
I feel
all
like
the
they
little
should
bits.
have. Yeah, they should have marketed it as fun because it's kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like I think I
Mhm.
put this together backwards, so that's a little tight squeeze there. I'm trying to.
So apparently, yeah, like you were saying, educational and specialty shops had these right up until just the last few years.
Yeah,
They-
yeah.
They
and-
may still have them on the shelf. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, they were still being sold, and that company just went out of business. And the most recent company that had them, I thought would have them at the cheapest price because they're not like vintage. But their website's kind of archived now. It's not really showing up.
Multi-Mac. That's it. That was the Radio
Oh.
Shack brand. You're right. Now I
Oh, okay.
remember. Yeah, those were neat. They were kind of spendy too, but
hmm
especially around Christmas, they would have a lot of those sets at Radio Shack,
They would do
along with
that.
all
yeah.
the radio control cars and stuff.
Yep, they would just pile them all up in the front window and hope your mom
yeah.
bought them. But
These
I
these
feel like
bits
they-
and pieces could definitely work in a lot of the world building that we see in the consortium and other
Yeah.
places.
so if they had someone with some like kind of like I guess design or
hmm
this is like technically these fit and everything like that, but like someone had to like add that special cool factor to it. You know what I mean? Like the fun and the cool part of it would have sold it more, in my opinion, than just simply, they're educational. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they needed to get, someone out there who can market toys and be like, they're freaking extreme. These are cool, and they would have gotten, I think, more kids into it. And maybe some models like to start you off, the starter model kits were more of a, I guess, less, modular or less, interchangeable, and maybe just a better theme. Like this interceptor looks really cool. So they like just
Yeah.
market that, at you, get you to buy it. But then you realize that if you buy additional sets, or maybe you buy
Ooh.
5 sets, and if you buy the 5th set, you could combine. It's like a build a figure type of thing. You could build.
Ted's
the
got a good
ultimate-
point. This would work good with your Palatoy Action Force for the SAS or for the Red Shadows, maybe.
I definitely see
'Cause-
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would definitely work, and that would look awesome. But yeah, just something like that, like build a figure type thing. Buy 4 sets, build the ultimate mech. You know what I mean? Or
hmm
anything like that could have been, I don't know, like I said, just a cool factor. You add that on there. Like we're looking at them, we think they're cool, but you're trying to get a 9-year-old kid to. You want all the kids talking about these. It wasn't
Will,
just
are you teasing us with a big reveal? We're just seeing a styrofoam container get more and more empty, but we're not actually seeing what you're building.
Yeah.
Is that on purpose?
No, I have to lean over because the way I have this set up, so it's just a little easier
Gotcha.
to manipulate these pieces.
Right on. All right, Scotty saying Multi-Mac was kind of similar to Zoids. I remember Zoids and Star Ears. Yeah.
So
those had like wind-up motors on those, didn't they?
I almost dropped a piece. Okay. So that goes there. That's easy. I could just.
So the gadget bit of this was the actuators and controllers that you could get it to roll or walk or whatever.
Roll, and then they each came with like these pincers. See the little claws? But I'll tell you, they were like really slow. I got one working, and they worked all right. I mean, it's not like they're bad or anything, but they just weren't like. When you think of like Robotix, like just being able to pinch something and then, I don't know, do something with it, put it down.
Okay.
And then, rolling along with them was nice, but once again, it would also only, go so far. It can only go as far as the cord attached to it. So you don't have the, I'm going to attach this.
That was kind of limiting, but, they were working with the technology they had handy that was, affordable.
Let me get that on there. I think that's the right. Nope, that's not the right way. That's the right. Nope. That's correct. All right. So that goes on the front. And here, I'll show you how the claw works. If you could see that. You see the motor has a little gear there, and you got. Maybe we get that working. And
alrighty. Scotty's sending some pics to my Instagram. I'll see if I can pull those up here in a minute.
Oh, what's that of?
Of the Radio Shack Multi-Mac, I think it was called. Multi-Mac?
Oh.
Yeah, Multi-Mac.
Okay. Oh,
so nice. It's similar. It's a similar idea.
Nice. Okay. Cool. There, and I'll put this here so I'm not. Oh, here it is, the controller. So let me just plug that in. I'm just curious does the motor just start working? How does that work? How does that work?
There should be some kind of a on-off switch on the main controller, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see that just starts spinning?
Mm-hmm. Very slow.
Yeah, it's very slow. So I'll show you the claw in action when let me just is the claw even on this model? No, it's not, but I could just show you it working. Oh, I have it built on this one. So here, I'll just show you it working. Let me just use the power pack for this one because this claw is
yeah.
What's that?
Hold still and while my pinchers come at you. It might take a few minutes. Kind of like what was that, Austin Powers, when he's running over the guy with the Zamboni? It's like, no.
Yeah.
10 minutes later.
Oh, this is the one from my old set, and I don't think it's working.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Okay. I have it assembled correctly, but it's not working. But yeah, I mean, modern servo motors are so much better than some of these older ones too. They just work better.
Right. Yeah, Goji's saying the prices are, they're not horrible, but they're not great, depending on the completeness of the set.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I sat on this and kind of watched the auctions for a while. And, like I said, I thought the price I paid for this was fair. So I just, grabbed it just because I thought it would be fun. I'd probably be more interested in just more kind of random lot sets after this.
Yeah. All right, let me show these Radio Shack
Oh, okay. I got the
kits real
claw
quick.
working here. Hold on. Here's the. You want to?
Oh, you got it working.
Ah! It got me. Can you see that?
Oops. Let me grab that picture back.
Yeah, not bad.
There we go. Well, that's not too slow. It's not too fast, but the claw.
And it grips pretty well. So,
So it kind of sort of works.
yeah, they definitely work, but it's not like that's the thing. Like, I understand the educational portion of it, and I get that they wanted to focus on that, but I feel like I said, if they just went with that cool factor, if they just added something.
Yeah. So this Radio Shack design, it had similar connections, but the scale of the figures and stuff were smaller. Okay. Very interesting.
I
Let's see if I can pull up another one here. Well, those are kind of neat. See if I can make that picture bigger. Cool concept. I can definitely see where that would work. I remember seeing those at Radio Shack on, especially around the Christmas time. Very interesting. You've gone quiet. Is that because you're concentrating?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, just looking at this.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Toy
that?
Hermit saying using one of those Raspberry Pis, those little
yes,
those things, you could do all kinds of cool stuff. You could set up and program a whole sequence. That'd be a neat idea.
Oh yeah, I think you could get these things like really
okay. So World Made of Cardboard says 30 to 50 is kind of the going rate for some of these sets out there on third party. Okay.
Yeah, and that's not bad for a complete set. It was just that I found the amount of parts and everything in these sets to be a little overwhelming. So that's why I kind of went with the complete. But if you want to do a little research and look into some stuff, then you could probably go ahead and get one that and piece
there's
it together
definitely
yourself.
Yeah, there's potential. Even if if the servo thing doesn't really work, just the construction parts of it, that could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty's wondering if the tips on the claw held up. What kind of material did they use? Is that
they're like a rubber. Yeah, it's like a It's like a rubber, and it works pretty good, nice and soft. And when I squeezed my finger, it held tight, but it wasn't like enough.
So it didn't it didn't dry rot or turn into dust.
No, not at all. And let me just see so I could see in here. I might be missing a piece. I'm gonna have to now. Of course, I'm not gonna leave bad feedback for the guy or anything, but it does look like there's one piece missing. I don't know how significant it is. No, it's not missing. I got it. It's on there. So I could power this up real quick, and you just see the wheels moving. This is
gotcha.
It's a front wheel drive vehicle. So that's
you can only power one piece at a time, or could you put in
this
multiple
one
pieces?
only comes with one motor. So some of the bigger sets come with multiple motors, but they give you those gears to hook on there and get your wheels going. So you go in reverse, forward. Right, you can see how slow that is. It would move along, but
the premise
works. Toy would work much faster for you. And then this one wraps around the bottom, and you plug the module to the.
Did you plug the Zoomer doozy into the what's it?
Yep. Okay, so that's the way that goes on there. So that is the first portion of that set.
Will, in your investigation, do you know how many named figures were in the set?
I don't.
And are
I
they listed? Is there like a little catalog of other
I
sets with
I
figures?
couldn't find like so if someone knows of a good like fan site or something for these, I'd like to know because I just Googled and I couldn't really find any like you could find like Star Wars archives and all these other ones. So the named characters that I showed today were the ones that I could find on eBay. And
So those
that's
were
where
like what, 6?
and that's where I left it.
Okay.
I just left it at that because I couldn't find anything else. So I'm just trying to figure out how this like
Nice.
rear roller fits on here because it's a little weird.
That sounds like a great lineup. The Robotix versus the Rancor versus Voltron versus Inhumanoids versus your Shogun Warriors. That's a nice setup.
That would be. Okay, so I need to build. I am not missing a piece. There it is. I got it. Okay, that's how we get the wheels to spin. I'm like, how do we get these wheels to roll? I see. Clever. So yeah, you put these little doohickeys into this barrel.
Oh, to get it to connect. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then you
That gives it
connect
the motorization.
this little set.
Ah.
Yeah, and then it kind of spins like a tumbler. So I got those pieces. And these are kind of like pieces where I wouldn't know what to do with them unless I had the set with the instructions and everything.
Right. So that's kind of like the suspension
Yeah.
of the wheels or something.
Yeah. So
So the tumbler part, is that using the solar panel bits to
I
make the
think
curve, or is
so,
that a
or
different
that's the
part?
ship fuselage. No, the solar panel
Okay.
bits attached to the back, like behind the main cockpit there. So I got to take this, spin it around, and then start adding parts to here. So instruction show 1,
So, like
2.
with the Lego Technics, do you have like the rack and pinion? Can you steer with this one, or is that a different set?
No, you cannot. But once again, even on these gray pieces, you could see the amount of detail on them.
Oh yeah,
So
you could
really,
definitely paint
yeah,
those up. Do a little dry
really
brush on
cool.
there.
Yeah, they look really nice. So I need an elbow. So we attach that.
Okay, on some of the more advanced ones, apparently you could do like 6 actions at a time if you had the big switchboard and all the cables. Okay.
Yes, so you could like press each button, so you could do multiple actions. And like I said, that would be cool today because that whole action could be just put onto like a cell phone, and you could just command it that way.
Apparently, you
So,
guys can hear the rooster in the background. I never know if he gets picked up on mic or not, but he's out there.
oh, I'm not hearing him, but that's interesting. Yeah.
I've
So
learned to
we
kind of tune him out, so I sometimes forget he gets picked up on the mic.
add that piece, and then this piece goes on upside down, which is interesting. Okay. Is that styrofoam noise annoying, or can you hear that?
Yeah, barely hear it.
Okay. And then they just put the dish right on top. Okay.
Okay, so it has connectors on top and bottom. So
Yeah. So, they have a. I'm missing something here. Oh, cool. Okay. The dish has like a base to it. Here it is.
Okay, the Argus set has the big switchboard that you can do multiple functions, apparently.
And I do have that switchboard. It came in the parts lot I have.
Oh, nice.
But,
you got to have the wires, though.
I don't have the wires for it. So it's just the switchboard. So I never really messed with it.
Okay, so you can make the cylinders can be like a fuel module, or you can make a big wheel with the red spinny bit. Okay, yeah, so it definitely has some potential.
This bit looks like it's broken. This is supposed to connect to here.
Oh, one of the connectors is not good.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna shove it together somehow. Yeah, this is supposed to go on here, and then this is the dish goes on top of that. So
okay, apparently there's another toy set out there like Zorbs that may use the same type of holes. I don't know.
Well, we did see that later on they had like that Discovery Channel branded set that was similar, but
Scotty says try the double female with the dish and see if that'll connect. That might be. Is that one of the gray bits? I can't tell from here.
Where did you see that though? Is that in the box here?
I would guess.
Yeah, I don't see. Maybe. But the dish is like on a right angle, so it would be like this. I could do that. That looks better.
There's a T bit that's a triple female that might work.
Let me try this.
Okay, so World Made of Cardboard says that some of these parts, it shares some of the parts with Argus. It's just these are in black. So like the multi-port big long piece there apparently is part of that.
Okay, I'm going to leave that for now because I'm just getting hung up on it. And I'm going to just go ahead and try to bring this back around and connect to the thing. So we get, and then whatever I have left over, I'll mess around with.
All right.
Let's just set those to the side because that's the one that's holding me
You'll
up.
have to tinker with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's holding me up. So this is, I should have two T bits, which I do have, and there they are. Okay.
Apparently there's another building set called Uber Sticks. I'm not familiar with that. But
Uber Sticks?
That might work with this too. You'd have to try it out.
Okay.
Uber Sticks with an X. Yeah.
And yeah, with the ability to print stuff, 3D printing, you could probably go ahead and just match the size and create your own connector pieces. Although these are so cheap that you could pick them up on the secondary market that, I just got to see where to connect this. So this connects on this side.
Right. But if there's a certain part you can't find or you need a double of, you could definitely 3D print something that would be compatible.
Yeah.
That's an idea.
Yeah, we got a vehicle here, guys.
Nice.
Just let me see. There's a couple other little bits that are left out or... Okay, these go on the sides, I see, just to make it look like a badass vehicle. So let me see. These go...
Kind of a dragster kind of look.
Yeah, these just kind of go on the sides there. Okay.
Can you hold it sideways so we can see the profile?
Sure.
Okay, so it's got the big steamroller on the back end.
Yeah, just fitting some last... I'll just put it like that. See, can you see that?
Okay, yeah.
And
so you get the idea, the shape.
Yeah, a couple little extra bits. There's like this little piece. It looks like a little command module or something. And I don't see it. Oh, I see it right here. It goes on the side. Okay. Just plugs into the port on the side here. And I guess that's like a little station thing. And
to doohickey.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Yep.
There's a little dish. Oh, that's what it is. See, the little dish fits right there. That makes sense. The big dish... I don't know if this design uses all the parts from the box because there's like this other big satellite dish that I don't see on the thing. Let me look at the color picture. They had a nice color picture of the doohickey complete.
Yeah, you definitely need a supercharger or else this thing's just going to be racing along.
This piece is broken. See right there? Can you see the white spot?
It's a little blurry, but yeah, something snapped off there. Okay. Yeah, there we go.
That's a gun that goes on the front here.
Okay, so it probably just had some small bits that
snapped
easy.
A little gun. You could see it in this photo right here. Let me get the glare off right there. Can you see that?
Okay, yeah.
There's a little gun that went on the front, and then I guess this big dish just doesn't have anywhere it goes, so I'm just going to stick it on somewhere. And
good enough.
That is the picture, and that is my model built. So you can see, I'm going to pull the box away here, and we're going to turn it on and let it roll across the screen here. So
might take 20 minutes, but
Yeah,
just to move across.
Oh, he's going backwards. Hold on. Are we moving?
We're moving. Lightning speed. Wow.
Slow
Yeah, if it
down.
moved, I
Slow
was gonna
down.
say,
We're gonna crash.
if that's the speed it went for kids in the 80s, I can see why they lost interest in the gizmo
Well,
pretty
that's the
quick.
thing. So it seems like the weakest part of it was and maybe that's just the limitation of robotics technology of the 80s, right? So it's it seems like the weakest part of it was the thing that they focused on the most, and that was
Right.
that educational functioning robot thing. Where, like
If
I
they
said,
just gone with the modular building and skipped the motorized bit, it might have worked better.
yeah, I think so. I'm gonna come join you guys over here again, and then I'll show it on cam over here. Let me just. How did that work out though? That was a little rough, right? I haven't done the overhead thing before, so
The
sorry.
overhead thing, yeah, it's just we need to change the camera angle a little bit so we can see better. But yeah, it
Okay,
worked in
all
theory.
right. Let me. What am I doing? How do I get rid of the toy cam?
That button right
Oh,
there.
scroll down. There it is. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then I brought this up. That's just a picture. Okay. So great. Yeah. There we go. Sorry guys. Thanks for sticking. Oh, we're at 108, 1 hour, 18 minutes. Perfect time to end.
Nice.
Look at that. I think that was way more than 10 minutes, but that's the vehicle in a nutshell. It's pretty cool. I kind of like the one on the cover, the one with the two solar dishes sticking out. I think we should do that one. But yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's some
Well,
definite flaws, but I think it's worth pursuing, and it absolutely 100% does 118. So with
it's got
that, guys,
potential.
I think we
Yeah.
should wrap the show up, and I'll talk to you guys next week. What do you say?
Yeah. And what are we doing tomorrow? BCs and baddies.
That's
No
right,
infinite
with
playlists, but we got a
Gojitron,
special.
and
Yeah.
yeah, we've got Gojitron joining us, so you're not going to want to miss that. That's tomorrow. When is that?
Good question, because
Tomorrow.
I'm on a different time zone from you guys. I think
Let me
be
pull it
about.
up.
Yep. It's on eBay. It's on YouTube already.
Yeah, I see everyone's going on eBay, so I'm glad to be an
Yep.
enabler. Nothing makes me happier, and I can't wait to see you
Oh,
guys.
good point, Mython. We'll do a community corner next week, and we'll show some pics of some cool stuff from around the net.
Yeah,
Mython
and
sent us a really cool aliens bit that we'll show
say no
off.
more Gojitron, 4 p.m.
Thank
Eastern
you.
Standard Time. All right,
Yep.
great. Great. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, guys. If you want to see more about robotics or you think we should do a deep dive or something, maybe we can and talk more about the lore. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us today. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Jim.